Kenny's got maybe the most heartbreaking journey in all of like Cobra Kai. Like, I really feel for the dude because he's just trying to get nachos or he's just trying to play fantasy games and he just has his entire life wrecked. Like when you met with the showrunners, when you were talking to like Josh and John and Hayden, like how much of his journey did they lay out for you?
So whenever I was having the conversation with John, Josh, and Hayden, they pretty much laid out the whole entire storyline. They talked to me about the beginning arc and pretty much just how he's a shy, timid kid who struggles with bullying and everything. And then he becomes this fierce competitor by the end of the season. Now, what I didn't know is what was going to happen in between that time. And also the whole like locker room scene. I didn't expect that. And even the beginning arc, whenever I got bullied. So pretty much they just laid the foundation of my character and talked about where he is at the time and then where he was going to get by the end of the season.
Was there something in the script or in those talks where you were that kind of like informed how you were going to approach your performance, like finding the voice for this guy?
Yeah, pretty much just the action lines that I was looking at and pretty much just the character and the things he was saying. I pretty much just had to put myself into that mindset and think about a kid who is shy and struggles with bullying and who doesn't know his own identity yet, and pretty much just find that voice, figure out my character's emotions, and then execute.
Yeah. One of the things I find like striking is you're in Robbie's, like Kenny and Robbie's relationship is like Obi-Wan Kenobi and like Anakin Skywalker. Like friends and mentors turn like bitter enemies over the course of the 2 seasons. Like, how is it working opposite Tanner to figure that all out?
Wow, working with opposite Tanner was, it was an unbelievable experience for me personally because I grew up watching Tanner on different TV shows. So pretty much I was already starstruck as soon as I met him. And what a lot of people don't know about our relationship is that he was the first person that I met on set. The first person. I got there and I wasn't even filming that day. I was there to meet some of the training choreographers, and he came there just to meet me and introduce himself. And pretty much our mentor / mentee relationship started that first day. And we became friends on set. We had multiple conversations about our characters' arcs and how we can go about the entire season. He pretty much gave me the layout of Cobra Kai and how they work. And pretty much just told me, we're going to have a great time. And just working alongside him was a whirlwind, and I'll never forget it.
And talking about those trainers, like when you're working with people like Hero or Janelle and getting like those fight scenes down, because you do, especially, without going into specifics, like going into season 5, you fight a lot. Without maybe saying who, you fight a lot. Like how is it like getting that martial arts training down?
Getting the martial arts training down is it's a lot to handle. It's very intense and it's intensive training, but it's everything that we need, and it's pretty much just to help us get in shape. It's to help us worry about the choreography of each scene, also focus on the basics of karate too, and figuring out the mental aspect of karate and everything with it. And just working with the stunt choreographers is incredible. And I was extremely nerve-wracking going into season 4, but especially once it got to season 5, I was more relaxed. But no, it's not necessarily difficult, but it's a lot to go through, and pretty much you got to think about the character side of it too, not just Dallas. No, you got to think about Kenny Payne and what he's thinking about and why he's doing every single motion the way he is. But pretty much we go through character development that way, and that's what made the stunt choreography so special in season 4, and you will see it in season 5.
I had read somewhere that one of your big influences was like watching like Bruce Lee and Wesley Snipes movies. And when you're what was some of the big takeaways when you were watching these icons just like do it on the big screen?
Yeah, my biggest takeaways from watching them is pretty much just their technique and then also their emotion that they're showing. I mean, every moment is very precise and it has meaning every single time. And you can see, like, I remember I just watched Blade not too long ago, and I was studying and analyzing every single thing that Wesley Snipes was doing, and he was unbelievable. I mean, every movement was so, it was calculated, and he knew it, and he knew what he was going to do, and it was special, and that's why this movie is so great.
As someone that was a fan of like the Karate Kid movies and just taking karate beforehand, was there anything that you kind of noticed? Because Kenny's arc is like, what happens if maybe Danny LaRusso broke bad? Like how is it kind of like looking at that and kind of comparing that to your own arc?
Yeah, so pretty much they told the writers, John, Josh, and Hayden told me at the beginning it was pretty much like a direct homage to Daniel LaRusso whenever he was a kid. So just being able to live in Daniel LaRusso's mindset and figuring out, and also get to have the chance to talk and have conversations with Ralph about my character. And he was a really beneficial help for me. And I mean, he just helped me with my arc, and pretty much it's cool. It's incredible that, I get to play that character who was pretty much just like Daniel LaRusso if he would have gone to the bad side in season 4 like I did. But yeah, no, it's special, and yeah, it's incredible.
Was it intimidating joining a show like that was already 4 seasons deep, like having everybody already kind of like forming their cliques and everything?
100%. I think that might have been the most challenging thing for me going into season 4. I remember my first day, I was sweating bullets. As soon as I got onto set, my first scene, I remember I did the scene with, it was me going into the dojo after Hawk had just messed with me at the school, pretty much with Nate and Owen there. That was my first scene. I remember just being there, and I was like, okay, I need to like establish myself here, and also just be respectful to everybody, and just try to include myself but not, and stay back at the same time. So pretty much a lot of things were going through my head, honestly, and but it was something crazy. It was very intimidating.
I think it's safe to say, coming out of season 4, Kreese is off the board, which means that Kenny is kind of at the apple of Terry Silver's eye. And how is it, like, first off, how tall is that dude? And second off, like, how is it working with Thomas Ian Griffith?
Okay, so I don't know his exact height, but all I'm going to say is any scene we have, or anytime we're just like talking to each other, this is me and this is him. I'm not even joking. I remember the scene that we had for season 4, and I remember I was like looking straight up at him. I was even on Apple Box, and I was still looking straight up at him like that. So he might be 6'6" to 6'9", honestly. Yeah. And then working with Thomas Ian Griffith, Ian Griffith was a great experience, a very influential experience as well too, because he taught me a lot about martial arts, and also just finding the character's identity and character development. Also just the Cobra Kai way, honestly, just being in that mindset, and just working with him was a great experience, and I'll never forget it. I can't wait for everybody to see our work, and it's special.
You were mentioning that, if season 4, you were coming in season 4 a bit nervous. How liberating was it to have that year of experience and come into season 5? Like how big of a change was there?
Oh, there was a huge change for me. It was very significant and important, just for me to feel established into, the characters, and just being with everybody. They welcomed me with open arms from day 1 of season 4. And just once I had those friendships and those relationships, because what really happened, during All Valley, that's when I really got to spend most of the time with everybody. And then going into season 5, I understood, our friendships with everybody and the relationships we had with each other. And it was very important for me just to, evolve and find my own identity as a teenager in real life. And being with all those cast members was incredible for me.
Not to like, this is always like weird news to say, but like, I mean, Cobra Kai does like Super Bowl numbers, right? like it's a huge show. It's like worldwide. Like, how has the response been coming off of season 4?
The response has been something that I'll never forget, honestly, in my entire life. I mean, the responses from everybody, and how they felt about my character, and how I've impacted their lives have just been so special to me. And just the notoriety that I've gotten is unbelievable. I never expected this, really, because people were telling me my life was going to change, but I didn't know the numbers were like this. And I remember my Instagram followers like skyrocketed out of nowhere. And then people just would see me on the stream and be like, hey, are you Kenny? I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, people watch this show like this. So it's just been a great experience for me. And I can't wait for everybody to grow with my character.
Cobra Kai is a show that has kind of proven that no character is beyond redemption. We saw it with Johnny, we saw it with Hawk, we've seen it with Robbie. how much of that Kenny Payne in there that still loves to play fantasy games and go to the movies, how much of that character do you still think is kind of like at his core?
I mean, of course, I think that character is still in there, and but I can't talk too much about this because this is still my character for season 5, and pretty much so I'm gonna leave it at that. But I think, of course, there's still that fun-loving kid in there, and you know, I just can't wait for y'all to really dive deep into his character in season 5.
Sure. And I think I got one more for you, Dallas. And
Okay.
this is always like the toughest one, but you know, we'll see how far we can. What else can you tease about Kenny and Cobra Kai when audiences tune in for season 5 on September 9th?
Yeah, so what I can tease about Kenny in season 5 is basically think about the Kenny's journey after the All Valley and literally what just happened. Just think about the continuation of that moment, and you'll continue to see his growth, his evolution as a competitor, a student, and just a kid. Honestly, you'll see all of that. I can't wait for y'all to see it. It's going to be something great.
Right on. And this is Sam Stone, CBR, here with Dallas Dupree, talking Kenny and Cobra Kai. You know, check it out, season 5 on September 9th on Netflix.
That's right.